everybody, my name is Maria Shiweda for Ownership Studios. This is a studio where we discuss or actually present things about the continent Africa, the way forward, one Africa, not the country Namibia, not the country Angola or any other country in Africa, but Africa is one. So we have to unite. Today I will give you a few reasons as to why Africa should unite. Not really as to why it should unite, because that framework I just finished it, but I need to let me say something. I have something to say here. It's a parade day for Russia today, so I'm bringing you this. I'm making this video because of this very specific issue. Russia, I've been fighting Putin for a while, but in 2017, that was my active war. That's when everybody actually came to see who I was fighting. Somebody's like, people see it and they talk, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, because at the time spiritually I was still really a baby, but everybody got to see why was Putin fighting me, because of my father. That's the problem right there. So as we all have seen, anybody who raises up for the freedom of Africa, they get assassinated. Okay, but this video here, I want to bring your attention to something. Yeah, I have sealed something today. In a previous video, I've spoken that China and Russia are not better than any other Western countries. They are not going to change Africa for the better. Africa need to change Africa by laying the framework, learning to do things themselves for themselves. Because if somebody gives you a job, guess what? He's writing you a paycheck. And if somebody is writing you a paycheck, guess what? You have to follow their rules to get that paycheck. So this is what Russia and China are doing to Africa. Not just that, we're talking about decolorization here. You see how brown I am? Okay, okay, you get that? So that part. But also we are talking about currency. Africa, your own currency, it shouldn't be backed by gold. We don't need to buy anything from the Western world, from the rest of the world. We don't need to buy anything from them. We can freeze exporting and importing all together in one day at the same time. Yes, that will earn Africa respect from the Western world, and that will crush the white supremacy altogether. So I sealed the issue of Russia and China. For China, I sealed it yesterday, and that was what date was yesterday? I don't even remember. May 9th, May 8th, I don't know what date it was, May 8th or May 9th, I don't know. And but for Russia, I sealed it today. I had to wait for this day, for the parade. I was just waiting for the day, but I didn't know it was the day of the parade. Actually, I didn't know that part, but I just sealed it. And again, the white man needs a black man's spirit to use, because a black man's spirit is what is stronger. That's what it is. So that part is just done. So the enclosure of Africa has been completed earlier today. That's another good thing, because in the previous videos I didn't have the sides were not done and the top was not done. So enclosing, taking care of the issue between Russia and Africa, not just Africa, my country Namibia, my father, yes, that's the issue. That was where the issue was. So took care of that and enclosed Africa from everybody. Don't worry about the tantrums that are going on. The tantrum wars that is going on right now. We are on our way. So Africa 500 years start now. Africa 50 years start now. So we just have to start printing those citizenship cards and then start drafting our own defense force. That's all that needs to happen right now. Each country has a defense force in Africa. All the US embassies, all the Western embassies, no countries need to be represented in Africa. Not at this time, not right now. One embassy here, one embassy there, that's enough. But we don't need their buildings here, and we don't need our buildings in all their countries. We have to dissolve that word Africa into citizenship of one Africa. The other thing I have to bring to your attention is I want you to Google this name. It's a project company name. It's a company name for a project that was founded in 1985. This is way back. I think that's well over 30 years ago. So this company was founded because of war, pretty much. Weapon production. Countries came together and formed, about five or seven countries came together to form ITER. It's ITER. That's ITER. So phonetically it's spelled like this. So Italy, Tango, Echo, Romeo. So just pick the first letter from each word. So Africa is not represented in that company, but the reason is because those weapons, the project is to produce weapons, and weapons is for what? To tag who is usually taking the end results of all these weaponry projects? That's Africa. And for what? For their resources. So they come and take resources from Africa and then use them, produce weapons, and then use those very weapons, come back to Africa and use them on Africans. Okay, so we do that. We enclose Africa, and we can come up with our own. We have the manpower. What's going on? This, if you're looking at this is over 30 years, a project that takes 30 years. Okay, so what is Africa waiting for? Why do you have to wait 50 years to print a card of citizenship? A card of citizenship. It doesn't make sense. You are waiting for Russia. Did you know Russia was coming up with a war? Did you know Sudan was going to be in war? Why do you have to wait another day while other countries are not waiting for any other day, any minute? Not any minute later to do any shit. And if you say no, they know you're not in position. They'll let you sign all these treaties that you're not going to produce weapons of mass destruction, missiles and all this, but they are producing them. That's why that very name exists. Weapon of mass destruction. We shouldn't be talking about that. We are talking about that because somebody else in the world is producing them, right? So it shouldn't be somebody coming to tell you in your own country, in your own home, what you should do and what you should not do. They must tell their own people what they should not do and what they should do. And nobody is going to stop that. Nobody has stopped that. And they enclosed that whole organization to 35 members, and everybody else is excluded. They enclose that. So this is the reason. You make the decision and you do it. Decision is not on paper. When you are at war, you are at war. When they come and kill, they have to land the bomb in Africa, everywhere. They are not gonna write on paper. On paper, they are going to fool you and confirm that to them that you are a coward or something, and that's really what that paper means. No, that's not acceptable anymore. We have enough sun where we can generate all these energies. We have all the other materials, and we have the technology. Okay, we can make our own computers. We don't need Microsoft or anybody. That code, we don't need any of them at all. The biggest, I'm in the US, and here in the US, the majority of the hackers are either from India, but the number one country for hackers here in the Western countries is Nigeria. And Nigeria is a country in Africa. Okay, what did I say? Nigeria. Here in the US, we are not scared of Indians. We are not scared of any other country in the world. We're not scared of Russians. We're scared of Nigerians. Okay, they can run scams, multi-million-dollar scams. Okay, erasing transactions from banks and stuff like that. They have the capacity, they have the know-how, but they need the platform to exercise their knowledge. And this is what they don't have in Africa, because our leaders signed all this BS, this. Can you imagine 54 countries invited to the United States and all of them came? I didn't understand that. I just found that out. I did not understand that because I thought it was an issue, something that was going to come up. I thought that was what I was looking at until yesterday, that it actually has already happened. I didn't now check what day it was or when it happened, but guess what? I'm gonna close the telescope. How about that? If you know about the telescope, this is something that kind of controls the world. When they talk of mind control and all that, well, in the United States here we call them UFOs, and then they have witchcraft, and then they have all kind of terms. One and the same thing. But what I don't want the mind of Africans being controlled anymore to that point of just disadvantaging the Africans while benefiting the Europeans. We're enclosing Africa. It's already enclosed actually. But I want each and everybody to take a look at that company ITER and see that project has been going on for years. So Africa, stop accepting aid, put your people at work, come up with the currency and put the youth at work. They can work. They have the ability, they have the capacity. All they need to do, have 2 arms and 2 legs to kill other Africans. Okay, now they can use those 2 legs and 2 arms to do what? To build Africa. That's it. So Africa go, Africa go, Africa go, Africa go.